How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. A super fun video today. We are here on the Fastidious test server. I got a message from the developers yesterday asking me to check out this new hero. I presume they asked all the guys on the test server, and this new hero is going to be an epic lord named Rork. I only know his name is Rork because they told me. I only know this is him because it's the only one I don't know. I swear to God, I have not even clicked on him yet. We're going to get a totally raw, honest first impression video here. I'm really, really excited. Honestly, thrilled to check this guy out. So let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
So, some of you Forerunner people probably already heard of this guy because he is your fusion, your shard summoning event this Friday on global server, and I will cover this extensively. We're getting Abyzou. She is phenomenal. I already have 2 videos out about her that came out about 1 or 2 months ago. She's nuts. Everyone should be pumped. The damage is legitness. I cannot wait to try her in Gear Aid 4. Definitely go check out those videos. But based on how good Abyzou was, if you don't know, she's the first epic lord that is a second lord in their faction, right? Every other faction has one epic lord except for the Curse Cult. They had Aeon, and then they got number 2, Abyzou, who seems to be following suit with what we have with our OG lords and then the ancient exclusive lords. Abyzou is not ancient exclusive. She's going to be a shard summoning event and then available from both ancient summons and normal summons. But if you notice, you got Morrigan, who's like a great lord, but not the best hero. And then you've got Demi, who's a great lord and a great hero, right? That is the pattern, right? I have Twin Fiend, very good hero, but then Soul Caden's nuts hero. Aracha, not such a great hero. Yovar, insanity, right? And Venoma is not a good hero. Amazing lord, but then Cyrus, good lord, amazing hero, right? So when it came to Abyzou, kind of followed suit. She's got the exact same lord skill as Aeon. I know this is about Rork, but I just want to set expectations because I'm going to be disappointed if he's not freaking awesome, at least when I read it. Aeon is a good hero and a good lord, right? So Abyzou came in, and she's a good lord and a nuts hero. The damage is legitness. Aeon brings a lot of support, some crowd control, but with Abyzou, you're getting like legendary AoE mage level damage. Not to the level of like Comet or Boreas or Virna, but one notch below that. She is nuts, right? So I'm really excited to see what Rork is all about. I've gone on long enough. Let's get into it. I've built the hype. There we go. We've got an epic lord. First time I've ever seen him. He looks pretty cool, pretty buff. These Northerners have abs for days. The Frostbitten Thane. I don't know what a Thane is. I'm assuming it's something fantasy thing. Let me know in the comments, please. But we got Rork hiding his face under the cold helmet. This mysterious lord drives the power of Winter's Edge, the legendary axe to cast potent shields for both allies and himself. So Winter's Edge is the name of his axe. That read weird. He looks amazing. He's going to be a fighter, normal type damage, so it's going to be physical damage. They're saying he's a shield hero and a burst damage hero. Shield should synergize beautifully with the North faction, right? I'm assuming he's going to have the exact same lord skill as Isolde, who's the current epic lord from Northerners, because that's what happened with Abyzou and Aeon, right? So let's go to the talent. Damage scales off of HP. Mwah! Oh my, we've been asking for this forever. We only have Gluttony, and I guess a little tiny bit we've got it with, oh my god, what's his name? The OG, Deimos, right? He's got a little bit of his damage can come from HP, but now we've got straight up just damage scales off of HP. The hero grants a shield equal to 15% of max HP to whoever casts an ultimate within 1 tile. So anyone within a tile from him, so if he's surrounded by other melee units or he's right near a platform, if you got someone there, I'm hoping it means like the square around him and not just like the plus sign, like up, down, right, left. I hope it's like all 8 tiles that surround his middle tile. Anyone who casts an ultimate within 1 tile, it's going to be a shield lasting for 10 seconds, so you're going to want to put Northerners around him to give him those shields. The shield strength increases by 100% when the effect works on this hero, so he himself can benefit from his talent, and when that happens, it's double the shield, right? The strength is up 100%, so it's 200% of what it would have been. We're off to a good start, man. We are off to a good start. If he's got good damage, honestly, I can't wait. I want to see his stats. Does he have really high attack? 4867, it's okay. For perspective, guys, some epic Northerner fighters have crazy attack. If we go to Estrid over here, 5162. That's the highest of any epic fighter in the whole game. If we go to Voroth over here, you're going to see 5119. So he's still high. but it's not. I was hoping he'd be like 5200 plus. That would be pretty darn sweet. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot talking about attack. He scales off of HP. Who gives a crap about his attack? Attack will still benefit him because of the way the formulas work in this game, but it's going to be a sliver, right? This is what matters. 23k HP, that's absolutely nothing to scoff at. It's nothing like Elder over here, where that's pretty wacky at almost 30k. It's the second highest in the whole game, I believe, after Abomination. But wow. I mean, 23k for an epic, for a fighter, that totally works for me. We could build that really high. All right, let's head back to Lord and let's continue. So that's the talent. It looks pretty good. Let's go straight to the ultimate. Come on. Upon activation, basic attack deals 170% AoE damage to up to 8 targets. I love that they're telling us the number of targets the AoE hits in the front area instead. Oh, so normally it's not in the front area? Maybe I should have started with the basic. For every shield strength equal to 1% of max HP owned, increases damage by 1% up to 80%. So I think if his max HP is 100, let's just pick tiny numbers. You know, it's probably, let's call it 100k. I don't know, 50k. Let's just call it 100. If the shield strength is 80% of those hit points, so now it brought him from 100 to 80 more shield on top of that, that would bring him to the maximum. You can get this up to 100% with skill ups. Pretty cool. I'm assuming that's completely contingent upon now the shield being 100% of his max HP, so I'm curious where that is going to be coming from. Does he need to get shields from other people? Which maybe that's the move, right? You actually don't build him with super high max HP, so when he gets a shield from Gwendolyn or Vortex, it actually will be a huge portion of his HP. You can double it up, and you can get that proper 100% boost. You can also just get general increased AoE damage from level 2, so it's going to be 200% AoE. The effect duration at base is 15, it goes up to 20, and the skill cost feels a little high for a fighter. I mean, it's not abnormal, but you know, I was hoping there would be like Wrath, who goes every 300 skill cost, every 300 rage. So it's going to go down to 900 with skill ups. All in all, it's a solid start. I'm curious if there's going to be more shields, because we can look here already, right? He grants a shield equal to 15% of max HP from his talent. If it's himself, it's double that. It's up 100%, so it'd be 30% of his max HP, right? So 30% would give him a 30% damage increase cap, right? A 30% damage bonus from this. That's not going to be the 100% we want with full skills. He's an epic hero. We're all going to full skill him, right? It's off to a solid start. I'm not blown away yet. Let's go to the basic here. Deals 100% damage to one enemy target. So then what the hell does this mean? Front area instead. Let me know. Front, I mean, it's always the front area instead. I mean, what is his, he's got a normal range here, right? So it's 2 tile range, which is awesome. So it's someone like Scorch or like Valeria's ultimate. This is a cool range, right? But it's always in front of him. So I don't know what front area instead means, but hey, 110% damage, single target, the most basic of basic attacks. And then just one passive, then we're on to the Lord skill, which I'm almost certain is going to be a Solda. So we got to see what this Lord skill is. During the ultimate, dealing damage with basic attack to every one target grants a shield equal to 1% of max HP for 5 seconds. Shield strength will not exceed 30% of max HP. So while he's ulting, it's going to last for 20 seconds. He can keep building himself up a shield. So that's going to be on top of the 30% shield he's already going to get from his talent. That's pretty cool. How long? That lasts for 10 seconds. So now if you want to be stacking them and maximizing, you've got 10 seconds to increase the max shield strength. Now I'm seeing it. Now you're seeing it, right? So with skill ups, the max shield strength can now be 60% from this. Add the other 30%, and then add the shield gained, right? So it's not 1% per hit, it's 2% per hit. You could, if you got 30 hits out, or just hit 30 people, because he's gonna, during his ultimate, his basic attacks are gonna be big AoEs. You can max this thing out for another 60% shield. I'm assuming it stacks. If you guys don't think it stacks, let me know. The way it's reading is he's gonna trigger it for 15 seconds. He's gonna get the 15% max HP shield, which because it's this hero is doubled, so it's increased by 100%. So it'll be a 30% max HP shield. So now he has a 30% damage boost, but then he can stack another 60% from the 30 here, and then the bonus 30 from skill ups. It actually seems like as long as there's a lot of enemies to hit, he could have a 90% shield. So that's just from him, right? And that would give him a 90% damage increase on top of the normal damage he's putting out from the ultimate, which should be pretty cool. It should be a pretty big AoE. I think we're going to have a really solid AoE epic damage dealer for a melee unit. I'm immediately thinking Conqueror, right? He doesn't do magic damage, so I don't see how viable he is going to be for something like Gear Aid 1, or quite frankly for Gear Aid 4, which is disappointing. But why doesn't he have magic damage? How cool would that be? He could be like the epic version of Valkyra. The same way I'm kind of thinking Abyzou is going to be like an epic version of Comet. I know now we're talking different factions, but I'm thinking about free-to-play ways to beat Gear Raid 4. I want to help as many people as possible. Seems viable. I'm just wishing out loud now that this was magic damage like Valkyra. Actually, he can self-provide or self-support very nicely if you think about it, because he's going to get that 90% bonus. Valkyra gets that crazy bonus when she consumes her shield, right? It can go up to 100% boost, so doubling her normal damage if the shield is big enough. I think this bodes pretty well. I mean, it's hard. This is what's hard with Watcher of Realms. You can read as many kits as I have, which is like every kit a million times, right? But even still, it's like, this is going to last for 20 seconds. You're going to have these different conditional things that allows him to increase his damage. He's going to be hitting up to 8 targets, but how many targets are actually going to be there? What piece of content? It's 200% damage with an increase, the ramping up based on the shield, all these little factors, right? And now I have to imagine over 10 seconds and then 20 seconds when this stacks, and then when it's just these two, how much is it going to be? You know, like how much damage is it really going to look like? I think it should be really solid. But for example, with the Abyzou, I read it and I was like, her damage is going to be pretty good. And then I brought her in and her damage was mind-blowing, right? So maybe, hopefully, that's what's going to happen with him. The issue I'm seeing is he's an AoE damage dealer and it's normal damage. I do not see where he's totally shining. I see a lot of use in Void Rift, potentially. I see a lot of use in Conqueror. That's the first thing that's jumping off at me. But I see Gear Raid 1 up through 18, he should be a superstar. 19, he should be solid, especially if you're running him with like a Valkyra and a Mari and you're getting this whole Northerner thing going. Later on, I don't know. But hey, if an epic can carry you as the main lord through 119, I think that's already pretty sweet. Let's go to the Lord skill. I'm assuming it's exactly the same as a Solda, and it is increases faction team members' basic attributes by 10%. Periodically grants all faction team members a shield equal to 20% of their max HP for 20 seconds. The more faction allies there are, the more frequently it takes effect. This is identical to a Solda. For him, it is Thunder of the North 2. Is that what they call hers as well? I would guess the same. Hers is Spirit of the North, but you can actually just read it. It is identical, right? Periodically grants all faction allied team members a shield equal to 20% of their max HP for 20 seconds. It's going to happen more frequently depending on allies. We go over here, it's the same. I don't know why they changed the name, maybe because it's a different hero. It's an identical skill. All right, probably the thing I'm most excited for, Awakenings. So the best lords in this game, especially for damage dealers, if you're thinking like Wrath or Abyzou or something, right? They've got amazing Awakenings. I'm expecting mind-blowing Awakenings. I'm excited. A1, shield received plus 20%. Does this mean all shields get a 1.2x multiplier? Because right off the bat, right, if he can max out that 90% for 10 seconds, all of a sudden it's, what would that be, 118%. So now you've met the cap at 100%. That's kind of huge. I think this is beyond necessary, it seems, because shields are kind of that's his bread and butter, right? We go to the A2, crit rate plus 5%. All right, that's interesting. Slightly easier to build him. Kind of did not expect that. Extends the talent effect range 2 times. So this is huge. So no world you're not going to be running him A3, because now, you know, it's not just the 8 tiles around him. I'm assuming that's what it must be, not a plus sign. Now it's the extra square around that. So not the 3x3 square, the 4x4 square. So you can get tons of Northerners there. A lot of Northerners need shields to get their whole kit going. This makes him a very viable lord, not just a semi-selfish champion like he was reading. This is huge. He's good. He's good. He's one of our best epic lords already. How good? I'll have to test him. A4 now, penetration plus 8%. Penetration's nice. Penetration is just, it's going to ignore all potential defenses and resistances, so it's just 8% easier is a simple way kind of to think about it. It's not that simple, but that's the gist. Now A5, when an ally in the talent effect range casts an ultimate, increases the hero's max HP by 4%, can be increased up to 20%. So that's permanent, so you can stack it 5 times. So anytime an ally, especially by this time, you've already had him A3, so any ally within 2 tiles of range from him, I'm assuming it's that 4x4, I guess it can't be 4x5, excuse me, sorry if you already corrected me in the comments, 5x5, right, because it needs to go 1 right, 1 left, 1 up, 1 down to extend. So in the 5x5 square around him, this is what I'm hoping it is. We'll have to test it out. We just need 5 triggers from people in that range, and he can just have a permanent post-deployment max HP increase of 20%. So you build him with 80,000 HP, and maybe more. I mean, keep in mind, guys, under this whole thing, his damage is scaling off of HP. I'm very excited about this hero. I can't wait to try him out, actually, because if it all cooks, it all cooks. Because he's already going to be built tanky, and you're going to get his damage from his HP, you're going to build him with as much HP as possible. So with 23k base, you can definitely get him to, let's say, 90k is very comfortable, I think, for a lot of players. Many people can get him higher with better gear later on, but I think 90k is fairly reasonable, or maybe 80k would be for earlier mid-game, late-game stuff, right? But even with 80k, let's take that number, a 20% post-deployment boost that's permanent, right? 20% 80 is going to be 16k. So now you got 96k HP on an epic hero. Super tanky, and that should lead to a lot of damage. We are really going to have to bring him in and test what kind of damage he does. All in all, I think it reads really well. I think this is a hero a lot of us can be excited about. I think assuredly he will be the next shard summoning event on Global. They've got him right now on Forerunner. I'm saying assuredly, it's very likely. The only other one we're waiting on is Raiden. We've had every other epic get the treatment that isn't a free one, like Wrath or Ein. Right now we're getting Abyzou. Seems like they want to move in this direction of new heroes. They're asking me to cover him. They know I'm not a Forerunner guy. I cover Global server. So I do think, you know, whatever would be in 6 weeks time, since we're getting Abyzou this Friday, maybe 6 weeks from that Friday, 5 to 7 weeks, something like that range. I think Rork's coming home, baby. The only way it would be longer than that is if we're going to get a classic fusion like we just had with Crowder, which I think would be a great problem to have because that would be a legendary hero. Otherwise, get excited. At the very least, we can all get pumped that they're adding new epics. That's huge. We need it. We need the game's going to stay alive, and that's an if, right? Like we're still early days in the game. We need to diversify the hero pool, not just in terms of kind of heroes, but actually rarity of heroes. You need a strong epic. To me, that's the foundation of these gacha games. And of course, now really HP damage scaling is a thing. We only had Gluttony essentially. Deimos doesn't really count. This is huge. I think this is huge. I think we should be really excited. Here is the guy, Mr. Rork, the Frostbitten Thane. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like my stuff, like it, give it that thumbs up. Get in the comments. I'm going to burp. Get in the comments, subscribe, share it with your mother. I'll see you real soon.
Fastidious.